Hey everybody, this is Alan, and I'm back with another weekly LCS pickup. We'll start off with Eternity number 4, and I think this actually came out last week, which was I think January 31st. It says Eternity number 4 from Valiant, and I've been picking this up from number 1. It says a cosmos in chaos at the farthest edge of human understanding. Abram Adams, the lost cosmonaut called Divinity, and his comrade Mishka have discovered the purpose of their existence in this universe and in the next one beyond our own. Now, as a seemingly infinite pantheon of mythic gods and cosmic beings rises to meet them head-on, they'll be forced to ignite a maelstrom of untold proportion to save their child from a fate worse than annihilation. The Age of Eternity is nigh. From author Matt Kint of Exo Man of War and artist Trevor Hairsine, lead the thrilling finale to the ambitious feat of visionary science fiction storytelling that will forever expand the boundaries of the Valiant universe. And I've really been liking this story, but I think the only thing for me is I'm not well versed in Valiant, so it feels like I'm missing out on, you know what I mean? Like if you read Valiant, if you read this series, you would probably pick up on a lot more things than someone such as myself who doesn't read a lot. But it's still a good read, having known nothing else. This is issue 3. That's issue 2. I've been picking up like this artist's covers, and I've got one somewhere. And of course, these are right here in this box, and I don't know where the hell I've stuck one. But yeah, it's a pretty good read just by itself without having to know anything else. But and next is Verses from Image. And there's a lot of buzz about this book. It seems to be selling really well, flying out the shelves. I've read on Twitter, a lot of people are saying that I got the last copy and, you know, stuff like that. It says, war has become a spectator sport. Privately funded armies of superstar soldiers march into battle for fame, profit, and the glory of their sponsor nations. When a new generation of soldiers arrive, top gladiator Sata Flynn is about to discover how fleeting the limelight can be. From writer Ivan Brandon, from Black Cloud and Drifter, and superstar artist Esad Ribic of Secret Wars and Uncanny X-Force, in his creator-owned Image debut. So this is Esad Ribic's his book. This is his first creator-owned debut with Image. Versus delivers spectacular action, darkly humorous satire, and explores our hunger for fame and our penchant for self-destruction. And Diversity in Comics put out a video last night, and he does a hard sell video where he takes a less known book and talks about, you know, why the reasons he thinks it's a good book and why we should go purchase it. And I had already picked it up yesterday. I got to my shop about 30 minutes right after they opened. And when I walked in, he said, "Hey man, we just got our books in. We're they're in the back counting them, make sure, you know, our order's right. Then once we get that, we'll start you know, getting them on the shelf." Well, there were certain books that they couldn't just stick up on the shelf because they didn't think they were going to have enough after they filled people's you know, pull list. But there were like 10 of these on the shelf. And there was a young guy there, and he was really like excited about this book. He was pushing it to everybody that got in that general vicinity. But Diversity in Comics put a video up, and this whole thing about the comic creators and how they talk down to fans and just, you know, have terrible customer service when it comes to dealing with us online. There's a big thing where pick this book up and take a picture and tweet it to everyone involved, like maybe the writers, Image, even Diversity in Comics, and maybe the writers, Ivan and Isak, and use the hashtag Move the Needle, because we're going to try to show them that we do, you know, support this industry. We vote with our pocketbook, we buy the books, as opposed to those far left individuals that just want to make trouble and claim that everyone that doesn't agree with them are Nazis. they don't even buy books. So we're going to show that we do buy books and we do move the needle. So use hashtag move the needle. I recommend you guys, if you're into any of that, you're on Twitter, just check that out. Next, I got Walking Dead 176. And all these, I think for this arc, they're having Bill Sienkiewicz do the B run. This is his second cover. And I'm going to try to pick up all these. That was the Michonne cover. This is the New World Order Part 2, an audience with a different kind of governor. And from what I've heard, it's just like they've come across another community that seems to be thriving. And it's like it could go either way, you know. It could go well for them or it could go bad, you know. I think, you know, we're no stranger to that if you know anything about Walking Dead by now. Next, I got X-Men Red, #1. And this is just, you know, follows Jean Grey after the events of that Phoenix saga that they just ended. I just picked it up, check out the first issue. Not hearing good things. I'm hearing that the costumes are terrible and that the story sucks, and but we'll find out. And I love Adam Warlock, so I picked up Infinity Countdown Adam Warlock #1. And yeah, yet again, I'm buying more and more damn Marvel. So I guess I'm just going to quit saying anything about how I don't buy a lot of Marvel, because I've done nothing but prove that to be wrong. I've bought more Marvel, I swear, though, since I've started putting up videos than I have in the past year. But that's how it goes. But, you know, I'm being open-minded. I want Marvel, you know, to just write good stories and have good art. That's all I want, you know, and bam, I'll give you my damn money. And don't talk down to us online. Don't call us these damn names. We haven't done shit wrong, you know. God almighty, it's so frustrating when you like a book and you want to damn support it, and then people tell you, don't give me your money. And it's like, oh, okay. You know, if you go to a store and and the guy behind the counter is an asshole to you, you're not going to go back and give them your money. You're just not, you know, and it's no different. They don't get that. Anyway, Adam Warlock is back. Reborn from the realm of the dead, Adam has come seeking the Soul Stone, the truth about what it did to him. His guide through this infinity quest is none other than Kang the Conqueror. Be there as Adam begins down the dark trail, sure to lead him into the heart of the mystery of the Infinity Stones. And this is Mike Allred. I think this is his cover as well. So the art should be pretty good on this. And I think it's just kind of trying to introduce an audience that if you're pretty new to comics, you know, they're going to try to introduce you to Adam before he appears in the movies, the MCU. And next I picked up Amazing Spider-Man 795. I'm not a real big Dan Slott fan, but I figured I'd kind of pick up the few of his last issues leading up to 800, and because I'm probably going to start picking up ASM after the next writer gets on it, just to see, you know, how he writes it compared to Slott. This is Threat Level Red Part 2. Is there a doctor in the house? Spidey pays the Sanctum Sanctorum a visit, looking for a consult from the master of the mystic arts, Dr. Stephen Strange, but finds himself face to face with the master of mischief and new sorcerer supreme, Loki. And he's even more charming than in the movies. I also grabbed, this was a free, you know, the free previews they put out, and it seemed to be like an almost full Black Panther comic. It's got Ta-Nehisi Coates on it, who I'm not a fan of, and Brian Stelfreeze, which I am a fan of. I've met him a couple of times over the past couple months at my shop, and he's a real nice guy, damn nice guy. Also grabbed X-Men Blue Annual #1. I believe this came out last week as well. It was just the last one sitting there, and I figured, what the hell, I'll just give it a shot. So this is the annual, and it has Venom. So it's the crossover between Venom and X-Men Blue. It starts here, spinning out from the events of Venomverse. The Children of the Atom and the Lethal Protector team up to take down an extra-dimensional threat. X-Men Blue and Venom must band together in the cold reaches of space to protect our universe from a threat more diabolical than you can imagine. And they had a few of these. they had one of, I think 1 through 10, which is the whole series, and it's Street Fighter Reloaded. I think it's just the reprint of the old school Street Fighter comics. And they're 99 cents, so I figured I'd pick up the first one, and if I really liked it, I would probably end up buying 2 through 10 next week, since they're all $1 and their stock was getting kind of low on them. And had to grab Batman 40 from DC, the Super Friends Part 4. I'm guessing because at the end of the little synopsis it said this story was previously slated to run in Batman 40, and it's like, well, why'd you put it there? And I don't know, because I'm still a handful of issues behind. But I'll read what the hell it said anyway, and we can, we'll find out. Since the beginning, the friendship between Batman and Wonder Woman has stood at the heart of the DC universe. Now that friendship is coming apart, and as it does, the universe itself begins to crumble. The conclusion of Batman's team up with Wonder Woman. And I believe that's the variant. Nope, that's the regular cover. The variant by Copiel or Copiel, I don't know. It just looked like she didn't have a neck. Looked like her head was floating, so I picked that one up. And also had to pick up Batman White Knight number 5, both covers. I've really been loving this story. It's a good Batman story. If you hadn't been got into this one yet, and if you can find them, I suggest picking them up. Jack's mind and body begin to betray him as he prepares for an inevitable showdown with Batman, and Bruce himself struggles to keep his team united. As the game gets tougher, Batman seeks counsel from a shocking source, and after Wayne Manor is infiltrated, a car chase for the ages aims to curb Napier's supercriminal crew once and for all. I can't wait to read this issue. That's probably what I'm going to do as soon as I get finished filming this, because this is it's just been a killer book. And the writer Sean Gordon Murphy has been catching hell the past few days from those damn SJWs for he's like, there may be politics in my story, but I'm not there to pick a side or draw a line in the sand. And they can't have that. You must denounce anyone that doesn't agree with them. So they're sparking out. It's pretty funny. I picked up Mr. Miracle number 1. I just like this cover. I think this is the 4th printing. I just picked it up for the cover, basically. I've been collecting Mr. Miracle get-go. I got Green Lanterns number 40. This is the variant copy. Inhuman Trafficking Part 1. An unassuming dating app turns dangerous for Earth's Green Lanterns as heroes looking for love begin to disappear around the world. Cruz and Baz discover an interplanetary superhuman trafficking network preying on superpowered seekers of love and romance. But with their hearts and heads on the line, these Green Lanterns may need more than willpower to win this fight. So it's getting, to be Valentine's Day, so they're going to start putting out storylines that revolve around love and such. And there's Milk Wars Part 2. I had to pick that up after last week. If you caught that video, my pull video from last week, I talked about this one being sounded like such a stupid ass story. It did not disappoint. And it may be that I'm just not familiar with those characters from Young Animal, but I hated it. Like, Milkman Man is obviously like their version of Superman, but his dad always taught him to beat women, and I don't know, it was just stupid. And I'm hoping that I'm pretty sure this is going to follow suit, but I'm hoping that I can find some theme within these, and I'd like to do kind of a breakdown video of them. This is from Jody Hauser and Mags Visaggio, so I'm sure this is going to be a dumpster fire. Milk Wars Part 2. Mother Panic has discovered a Gotham City transformed. What happened to her family and friends? And who moved into Gaither House, the religious school that scarred Mother Panic as a young girl? It's Father Bruce, the orphan millionaire who decided to give back to society by filling the deep demand for sidekicks. So many robins in need of a nest. Plus part 2 of the Eternity Girl backup story. Ugh. Apparently Eternity Girl is Mag's, her created character to the DC universe. So, I'm interested to see that. But after the other day, she got on Twitter and this guy had a legitimate question, talking about, you guys make many times more than I made at Walmart. Why are you not held up to at least those standards of customer service? And they're like, they made it all about how much money do you think we make, and it's not the point at all. Which I'm still sure you make, like you said, more than Walmart pays. But at starting out, he was saying it was his first job, minimum wage. Yet the way they just talked and the way they berated him, it was just disgusting. God, it pissed me off. It's like, that's not the point of it. You're proving the point because you're calling him out and encouraging other people to make fun of him to join in, and they sure did. And it's just gross behavior. I don't care how much money you make. You can be nice to people, and when we read that, it's like, hell, you would make more money if you're selling the hell out of your book. And when we read shit like that, it pisses us off, or we don't want to give you money. So you're never going to move up because you're never going to sell anymore because, hello, they don't understand how business works. Why would you be a dick to a customer that just, is like, you guys can't even show like basic bare bottom levels of customer service. We are customers, and they're like, we're contractors, and it's like, it doesn't fucking matter. You're selling your art. You're gonna have fans now, but we're all dads. We introduce the next generation into this hobby, and they just don't get it, and it's like they don't care. They're so smug about it. It's sick. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be picking up any more of that Milk Wars garbage after that. Hell, I may just torrent it just to rip the shit because I don't want to support them. Moving on, Superman 40, Suicide Planet #1. Far away in a distant solar system, a world stands on the brink of destruction, much as Krypton did so many years ago. As Superman and Son venture off into space to help, an unexpected adversary stops our heroes dead in their tracks. These people wish to die. And this was the A cover. Last Days of Superman Part 1. And everyone seems to pick this up this week. Swamp Thing Winter Special #1. This is an 80-page book. That was one where they held them, and I set all my books down in the corner. They've got this stand where they sell shirts. I just stuck all the books instead of holding them all. Stuck them in the corner and went and stood right in front of the spot where they already had the placeholder up. New release, Swamp Thing, and just stood there. But then, like, they were filling bags, and he's like, I'm getting low, and I kept hearing him getting low, and I kept hearing other people going up to the register and telling them, they wanted one. So I was like, shit, are they going to give these people a copy and not me because I didn't let them know I wanted it? So I went up to the register. After he rung the next guy up, he's like, you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm just standing here. I'm hoping to get one of them Swamp Things. So after he finally filled all the books, he had a handful left, and I got one. There were like 3 left, and he handed them all out right there, and they sold out immediately. And the guy was like, I wonder why you wouldn't think Swamp Thing would sell out like that. And he's like, I think it's Tom King. He's really firing on all cylinders right now. And it's like, dude, it's Tom King and Jason Fabok. That dude's art's killer. So I'm looking forward to reading this book today. I'm looking forward to getting these videos out of the way and reading some comics. Swamp Thing Winter Special, Tom King, Jason Fabok. Pay tribute to the legendary creators of Swamp Thing, writer Lynn Wine and artist Bernie Wrightson, as they join forces for an earth-shattering Swamp Thing passion project. Swamp Thing is out of his element as he shepherds a lost boy through a blinding blizzard and other hazards of a strange frozen tundra. In this touching and harrowing tale of survival, the pair must navigate countless threats throughout a bewildering terrain with a bloodthirsty snow monster hot on their heels. But how long can they rely on each other? Separated from the green and stripped of his powers in this dead world, Swamp Thing struggles to fight for their lives and deliver the boy to safety. Disoriented and decaying, Swamp Thing's fading understanding of his surroundings forces the duo to confront their desperation and uncover the true identity of the snow monster that hunts them. This issue also features the final Swamp Thing story from co-creator Len Wein, originally intended as the start of a new series. It is presented here both in its original script form with art by Kelly Jones, and I really like Kelly Jones as well. So Jason Fabok and Kelly Jones and Tom King, that's pretty good. And I wish I hadn't damn bagged it up so I could flip through it and show you, but my videos are always long as hell anyway. Yeah, we're over 20 minutes, so I'm just going to kind of hurry. I got one more book. This is Young Monsters in Love, and it's another 80-page one, but it was $2 more than Swamp Thing, so this is a $10 damn book. So this is like the Valentine's Day themed again, but I really like the cover. It's Kelly Jones, who I really like. He was on a live stream with Ethan Van Sciver on Ethan's YouTube page or channel, Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I think it was a little bit around, it was around Christmas time maybe, and it looked like the room he was in just had all kinds of old monster art, you know, Basil Go-Go's and just stuff like that. So when I saw Kelly Jones did the cover, he's got Swamp Thing making out with the bride of Frankenstein, and Frankenstein's over here, you know, pissed. And he's got a story in there that he draws as well. It's a bunch of different mini stories, and it had some really good creators, so I had to pick it up. It says, hard being a monster, and even harder being a monster in love. Sparks will fly, and hearts will be broken when the ghouls and ghosts of the DC Universe assemble to bring you the Valentine's Day special that no one saw coming. And I'll just go through the stories. Nocturnal Animal, a Man-Bat story with writer Kyle Higgins and artist Kelly Jones. Pieces of Me, a Frankenstein Agent of Shade, S-H-A-D-E story with writer Tim Seeley, and artist was Giuseppe Canticoli and Cam Smith. Buried on Sunday, a Solomon Grundy story. The writer was Margaret Scott, and artist was Brian Hitch and Andrew Curie. The Dead Can Dance, a Raven story. The writers was Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, and the art was by Javier Fernandez. Be My Valentine, a Dead Man story. Writer Paul Dini, and art was by Gilliam March. Heart-Shaped Box, a Swamp Thing story, and this one looked really cool to me. The writer was Mark Russell, and Fraser Irving did the art on it. I'm gonna flip through right here in a second and show you all this. Visibility, a Monsieur Mallah and the Brain story. Writer Steve Orlando and art by Nick Klein. The Turning of Deborah Dancer, an I, Vampire story, written by Alicia Whitney and art by Stephanie Hines. To Hell and Gone, a Demon story, written by Phil Hester, art by Mirko Kolak. And Dear Velcros are a Creature Commando story, written by James Robinson and art by John McCrae, which I have a real problem with. It is problematic. You guys, I'm going to show you why. See, they use Nazis as bad guys, and that is just problematic. That means that they are Nazis by the far left. You cannot portray Nazis in any way, in a joking form, any way, or that means you're automatically a Nazi. That's what they done to Ethan Van Sciver, so I'm sorry. Those are the rules now. But there's a badass picture with Man-Bat and Kelly Jones. That's sarcasm, by the way. I'm sure you guys know you're smart. Those far left freaks, might have to break out the crayons for them. But just gonna kind of show you some of this art. It's gonna be easier to do it like this. Frankenstein. Superman Solomon Grundy story. That looks pretty cool. There's the Fraser Irving Swamp Thing. That looks badass. I really like that. I'm a fan. And some more. I was gonna skip through so I don't get any copyright, you know. But yeah, she was a Nazi. Nazis! Oh my God, Nazis! But yeah, Young Monsters in Love. But that does it for me this week, guys. I'm sorry, I know all my videos are long as shit. But if you would please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell for notifications. I appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. Later.